Have you ever sat at a crowded table, surrounded by laughter and conversation, yet felt like you were watching the world through a thick sheet of glass? You nod in the right places, you smile when everyone else smiles, but inside, there is a quiet, persistent ache of being an outsider. You might have spent years wondering what is wrong with you. You might have searched for a glitch in your social software, assuming you are too cold, too awkward, or simply broken. But what if that distance is not a defect? What if your status as the outlier is actually a sophisticated response to a world that has become increasingly shallow? If you have ever felt like a black sheep, consider that the parts of you that felt like burdens are actually your greatest hidden strengths. There is a specific kind of loneliness that comes from being misunderstood by those closest to you. People see your silence and call it arrogance. They see your need for solitude and call it antisocial behavior. It is exhausting to constantly defend your nature. The truth is, you are not broken. You are operating on a different frequency, and that frequency has a very logical structure. The first reason you feel this way is the internal anchor. Most people use social interaction as a form of fuel. They seek out others because they cannot stand the silence of their own minds. But you are different. You are self-contained. You do not go into the world looking for someone to complete you because you have already done the hard work of building a home within yourself. When you do not desperately need people for validation, you become unpredictable to them. They cannot pull your strings with praise or push your buttons with criticism. This self-sufficiency looks like coldness to those who rely on external noise to feel alive, but it is actually a sign of a grounded, integrated personality. You are not avoiding people, you are simply refusing to use them as a distraction from yourself. Then there is the matter of your nervous system memory. We often mistake selectivity for paranoia, but for many, these walls are actually a learned skill. You have likely experienced what happens when you open the gates to the wrong people. You have felt the drain of toxic dynamics and the sting of betrayed trust. Your current hesitation is not a sign of weakness. It is your wisdom at work. It is your system saying that not everyone deserves access to your inner sanctum. You are not being difficult. You are being a guardian of your own peace. Have you ever left a simple party feeling like you just ran a marathon? That is because while others are just chatting, your brain is playing high-stakes social chess. You do not just hear words, you process the micro-expressions, the shifts in tone, the things left unsaid. This deep processing means your brain is working much harder than the person next to you. You are analyzing the architecture of the conversation while they are just enjoying the view. It is no wonder you feel exhausted. It is not that you cannot handle people. It is that you see too much of them. This is high-definition perception. While a vast majority of the world sees in standard definition, you are taking in every detail, every emotion, and every subtle vibration of the room. This makes you incredibly empathetic, but it also means you require massive amounts of downtime to digest the data. You are not retreating from life, you are processing it. True connection requires an immense investment of time and soul. You realize that to truly know, someone takes hundreds of hours of shared presence. Instead of spreading yourself thin across dozens of shallow bonds, you choose to pour everything into 2 or 3 people. This is not being picky. It is being honest about your capacity. You value quality so much that you refuse to settle for the cheap imitation of intimacy. The central conflict you face is not between you and society. It is between your need for depth and your fear of vulnerability. It is easy to hide behind the label of being a loner to avoid the risk of being hurt. But there is a massive difference between choosing solitude for peace and choosing it out of fear. One is a throne, the other is a cage. You do not need to fix your personality. You do not need to become louder or more outgoing. You just need to recognize that your pull toward the shadows is often where the most light is found. In a world that is obsessed with the fast, the loud, and the superficial, your craving for meaning is a rare currency. You are the one who notices when a friend is hurting before they say a word. You are the one who finds beauty in the quiet moments that others rush past. You are the one who thinks deeply about the consequences of your actions. These are not flaws. They are the hallmarks of a life lived with intention. Stop apologizing for your nature. Stop trying to shrink yourself to fit into rooms that were never designed for you. The goal is not to be like everyone else. It is to be so comfortable in your own skin that your presence becomes a quiet invitation for others to do the same. You do not have to change who you are to find your place in the world. You just have to change the way you look at yourself. Tonight, when the world goes quiet and you find yourself alone with your thoughts, do not view that silence as a void to be filled. View it as a laboratory where you are crafting a life of substance. You are not a puzzle to be solved. You are a person of depth in a world that is learning how to swim. Take a breath. You are exactly where you need to be, and for the first time in a long time, let that be enough.